Z-Factor. Oh, God. Tie pin. There was a tap out, but because the referee was looking at the pin, he didn't see the tap. Yeah, my card went absolutely opposite. Hilarious that they have countouts in a submission match. When they did up 2K25, they did not take the Adam Cole assets out. So literally somebody built a creator wrestler for Adam Cole with everything in it except the music. No freaking rivalries out of that. My God, what is it going to take to get a rivalry in this damn game? And then Primrose calls out Scarlett and turned heel in the middle of the match by literally attacking Charlotte as she was going after Scarlett, who was on the ladder. She hit her with a Bailey to belly and a rose. Well, she hit her with a rose plant just as Scarlett was going up the ladder, and they both were unable to keep the title. Scarlett took over the title. Bailey turned heel. It ultimately led to an underground match in week 10, which Charlotte got her revenge. But Bailey ended up playing the long game, and she is now the WCW Women's Champion here. If Charlotte has to tap out here, referee, what are you looking at? I don't think the score on this is going to be tremendous just because we didn't finish on a finisher. Downloaded all the DLC packages except for the Cena one because, well, poor Blazer can go bork himself off the cliff.
And introducing the champion from parts unknown, weighing in at 350 pounds, the WCW Heavyweight Champion, he is the Monster Abyss!
So yeah, got a hot shot at all that ladder. Joe just attempted murder there. Here comes a sledge. Oh, Abyss blocks. And into the, oh my God, into the ladder. Now the sledge. Mike the Ref Maloney, Big Bad Boris on the call here tonight. It is
Super kick. Oh,
Super kick.
Let go. Let go.
Third.
Let go.
Super kick party. Yeah, pay the money for that. Yes. This life is going great. Let's go.
He's healthy.
Let's go.
Is she healthy?
Yeah.
Apparently she's back.
Hey, yo, 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 and away we go. Hello, everybody, and welcome to a Wednesday night Thanksgiving Eve edition of the Mike the Ref Twitch stream. Good to see everybody here. AEW Dynamite, the start of the C2, the start of the Joe era, the start of the Redemption Tour for Hangman Adam Page. We got a whole bunch of stuff coming down and a lot of big news coming down today as well. Let's get the baseball one out of the way here. Dylan Cease to the Toronto Blue Jays, 7 years, $30 million a year. Well, let's just say some data bills, y'all. That got paid out rather well. And then on the wrestling front, speaking of get paid, it was just announced on Fightful that Lacey Lane, who had the couple matches, one for ROH and one on Collision, actually did get signed by WWE. So the former Caden Carter from WWE is now a member of the AEW roster. I got to feel it should primarily be on the ROH brand for now, just to see how things work out in that way. And yeah, it's a very good Thanksgiving when people get jobs. You know, it's always good. But yeah, we're going into the beginning of the C2, which they did formally announce. Let me magically. Oh yeah, I forgot a button for this. We got the leagues up here tonight, so looking over everything, in the Blue League, we're going to get Moxley and Dorada tonight. And the Gold League, we're getting Okada Fletcher right off the bat, as well as Darby and Kevin Knight. They're going to be on tonight. So they are doing a double taping for tonight. The rest will be on tomorrow as part of Collision. By the way, we will be here for Collision. A quick note for my Canadian friends. Big Boom AJ not getting a spot in the C2 is robbery. I will give you that. Yeah, it's... Well, let me pull it back up here for everybody here. I don't know if everybody got to see the results. They came out on Monday. I'll be honest, going through this, I'm not happy about how the so many teams are working together on this one. Sorry, I'm just getting out of the way here so you can see it better. And I'm not the happiest about how the draw went, but you know you got those predefined stories you're already going to get in there. So, by the way, good to see you today, PJC. Always a pleasure. What are the odds of getting an Okada Takeshita final? About 95%, I would say. I think you get Okada at 1 and Takeshita at 1. Unless Fletcher wins tonight and then it goes Okada 2, Takeshita 2. Then it ends up being Takeshita and Takeshita and Fletcher in one semi. Because remember, the top two cross over with each other, right? It almost feels academic. Like the only spot we really have in question right now is second and blue. Is it Claudio? Is it Moxley? Like, who else you gonna put Roddy in there in that spot? I don't think so. Like, don't get me wrong, I would love to see it. You also look at Dorada, like, okay. And then you got Orange, which, frankly, he hasn't been up in that level. You think OC? Wouldn't surprise me in the least, but here's the thing. Like, have you really seen OC really at that level since he's been out of the title pictures overall? Like, that's the only thing that really worries me right now is the fact that we're getting, like, there's a clear divide unless they're going to try and make some people in this tournament, which Tony Khan totally will do. Like, let's not even kid ourselves. Tony Khan has a habit of making people in many different events, and I want to give him the benefit of the doubt here on this. But let's not forget, we're also getting the Sisters of Sin versus the Babes of Wrath in one women's tag team semifinal. So that's 4 of the 5 matches they're probably getting tonight. We're going to hear from Samoa Joe or Hangman Page, one or the other. And probably Swerve somewhere in that mix. But quickly, for those that are here from Canada or want to watch this on TSN, tonight is going to be actually on TSN 3, not TSN 2. I literally found out 5 minutes before I got on as I was turning the TV to the right channel here. So make sure you're right on the right TSN tonight. Tomorrow is the USA and Canada feed for Thanksgiving Collision. And for post-stream shenanigans, I did post something up on X and Blue Sky earlier today. Tonight, because our stream ran a little long on Sunday, we're going to do WWE 2K25 MyGM, the finale on the finale for Season 2 for the solo run. We're going to run that tonight after Dynamite tonight. So we will sim 2 matches well, 2 matches for WCW plus 6 others throughout the card. If all goes well, it's going to be McIntyre and Moxley in one, and the ref taking on AJ Styles in the other one. Plus, like I said, 2 other matches on the card featuring our stars, 1 men, 1 women. Tomorrow morning, I'm probably going to get on here early. Like, I'm thinking between 9 and 10 a.m. Eastern. We're going to get a couple hours of Horizon Forbidden West, the Burning Shores DLC in, because I want to keep going with that. Before football, of course. And then we'll be back tomorrow night with Collision. Thanksgiving Collision, which is being filmed tonight. So I don't expect tonight to go too far overboard in terms of time. So we should be okay on that point. And yeah, just Friday will be Friday. I'll probably do some editing. Saturday after Survivor Series, maybe pop on here. Maybe we'll check out the new season of Fortnite. I don't know. We'll see how things go. We could talk about things as I shoot things. So, hell, Game Pass is giving me all this extra stuff, and I just picked up Fat Homer and underwear. So, I guess maybe we should dry them out a little bit here. Yeah, if you didn't see the news, with Game Pass, you do get the free Fortnite pass. So, but not about Fortnite now. It is all about wrestling right now. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Appreciate you. If you got any thoughts, questions, queries, things brought up, feel free to bring it up. I think the craziest stuff coming online right now is the fact Brody Jr. Said that he's got a contract, he's able to sign at AEW when he's 18, but he wants to be the guy to retire Cody Rhodes. And Cody's just like, what the hell did you do to Amanda? Yeah, there's not going to be a fool around. I got a feeling this is going to be Brody Jr. versus Montez match also on the table. Ugh. Hey, Zodiac, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Happy Thanksgiving a day ahead of time. Appreciate you being here. So I wonder if we're going to get that other semifinal on tomorrow, or are we going to get it next week? My God, like I said, I got the brackets here for you guys. I will try to get something a little more solid coming up next week. Yesterday, I just pretty much completely tapped out for stuff, so I did a little bit of MLB The Show grinding. I am almost done. I never thought I'd be done a sports game, but for Diamond Dynasty, I am getting close. So yeah, we got Darby and Kevin Knight. So they're going to get some of the face-face matches up. Normally what they'll do is they'll put the heel-heel matches on Collision. Oh, fuck. Pardon my French, but we're already starting with Fletcher and Okada just to... No! Go away. Yeah, I think Takeshita's the obvious Blue League. Like, that's the only thing I was saying about this, is it looks like it's pretty much all the same lined up here. So is this the first time I'm actually watching AEW Long Ass Time? How long is AEW Sum 41 as a theme song? How long has it been? Like, I gotta think, almost a year now. Six months? Okay, fair enough. By the way, Michael, thank you for the compliment. Happy Thanksgiving to you. We are Canadian here, but we always celebrate Thanksgiving with all our friends down south, especially when there's free football to watch tomorrow. Gold League far more interesting? Absolutely. Well, when you look at it, like, I'm assuming Fletcher and Okada are probably going to end up 1-2 out of this. So maybe it's good to get this out of the way here, but it's Nuxgiving but with guns, so we kill more food. Ah, that's fair. But yeah, by the way, Crowder, good congratulations for being able to watch AEW Dynamite for the first time in a while here. One thing you'll notice about the show is it's not exactly a slow-paced show. My prediction, the fight, Yuta versus Mox versus Pac wins. There's one small problem with that, Nats. Let me just pull this up here for you. There's somebody missing in that little equation there. Unless you're predicting somebody's getting injured. You think it's Pac versus Mox in the finals? I love the optimism. I love the different thinking. However, my thinking on that, don't go to the betting window on that. Okada Takeshita, I think is almost a guarantee. If it isn't, that might actually be a match on the card itself at World's End. Because the thing is, the one contingency that could screw this up. Oh no, I guarantee he doesn't need it. But what match do you want to see out of all the matches here on this draw? What match do you want to see? The two greatest tournament fighters in the world right now, the defending G1 champion and the man who's won so many G1s it's getting sick. I agree with you, Nats, that we do need story progression. I think you could do that story progression just as fine with Claudio versus Mox, because that is actually on the same draw, and they have to face each other. Which I got a feeling is going to happen in New York. That's going to be the last week. And it could be a position where Mox ends up losing a few matches, and he is... basically, he's out of it, and he has to lay down to let Claudio go in. You have a 25% chance to win this tournament, Don, okay? You got 3 out of 12. Yeah, so 25%. My math is right. I am mathing here tonight, folks. Let's go. It's been an interesting day already, and I got such a good laugh out of myself. I actually cost myself $50 today. If you guys saw some of my posts earlier, oh God, these guys are just toe for toe. Maloney, Steiner math, yeah. You want to talk about Steiner math? I used to have a different mixer here. I remember I told you guys I picked up that Roland mixer that I tried to use, and I decided to go back to the Go XLR. I felt better about it. Well, I put it up on eBay because I didn't know who was going to buy it. All of a sudden, Walker contacts me. He's like, yeah, I bought it on eBay. But with all the fees and that, I could have saved myself $50 if it would have just went direct. Damn it! Well, else to be fair, but the only problem is everyone is banned from ringside, and I don't want to mid-tournament turn on Mox. Here's the thing. Nats, and here's where I'll go with this for you. If they do it in New York, that's the last week. That's the last week of the round robin. Because this week I forget where they are this week. Next week they're splitting between Virginia and Glasgow. And Wales, sorry. Wales. And then the week after they're in Scotland for both days, and then they're in New York for the last week. So I can't remember where everybody is. AEW doesn't even tell their people where they are. It's one of the biggest problems I have with the marketing group that just left AEW. Is coming up, like even a couple months, like when the tickets go out, there should be a tiny bit of buzz a little bit more consistently about where the shows are. By the way, who do you guys got tonight? Who do you guys have tonight for this? Like, this one literally could go either way. Why do we have the Okada splash on there? Fletcher, Kevin Knight, Mox, yeah. I wonder, like, could this be, like, if you get Okada to lose this one, this almost makes him guarantees could end up at second place? Yeah, I tend to go towards Zodiac's thinking. It's almost like when you're taking a wrestler, you gotta peak and then you gotta dip, but then you gotta peak again. You know, just it isn't a steady growth. It has to be a little dip every time. As I'm starting to do the Oahu shakes here. By the way, Zoe, I hope you enjoyed the hockey game on Saturday. I'll be honest, after you told me that and I looked at the schedule, I thought you went to the I thought you went to the Panthers Oilers game. I'm glad it was good for you. Fletcher taking L's leads to the more callous family tension. I don't know if you need that much more. Got sweet seats. Nice. Always great to get in the suite. I know we have my boss in IRL has seats for the for a big suite at Asta says yes, Okada Takesha's easy pick, but I think AEW needs to go out of the left field to get Pac on a Cinderella run to get more eyes on AEW. That might be fair. Leads to him leaving, maybe a face turn, maybe. I don't know whether we do. I don't know if we do a face turn or we do a. Yeah, Pac is absolutely, like, don't get me wrong, like, there's a lot of, basically out of the other 9 wrestlers outside the Don Callis family, any one of those can make it to the semifinals as well. It just, I know it sounds like a real easy story to have, but I just have this weird feeling that Tony Khan likes to have his champions hold the title like that, right? Okada falls just short, making more build to the inevitable Okada Takeshi to pay off. That's fair. All right, excuse me one sec, chat. Sorry about that, chat. Yeah. We're not supposed to have door-to-door solicitors here, and somebody just started walking in door-to-door. So, yeah, I'm not happy about that, but that's beside the point. But no, It's not illegal. It's just in our building rules. It says right on the door, no solicitors. So, gets me a little annoyed when that happens. But, yeah, anyway, back to her here. Like, I'm looking at this Gold League right now. Like, after this match here, we're also going to get Kevin Knight and Darby going at it tonight. We also got Bailey and... I wish I would have made a bigger one for myself here. Bailey and Pac is probably going to be on Saturday. Or tomorrow, sorry. Yeah, I'm all over the place here. Sorry about that, chat. I think Bailey might get an actual push here to actually put him in another level, maybe. Knight's always been the guy that a lot of people want to elevate a little bit here. And especially with a lot of the comments that have been coming out recently. I know TK looks at him, whether he likes to admit it or not. You think MJF returns tonight? Here's the thing, and here's my belief about any crazy returns or anything that's coming on. Is there any real point to having him right now? Unless you're going to have him take on Hangman right away. But Hangman's no longer the obstacle that he wants. They want MJF as a contract? Yes, but with all due respect, who would you rather execute that contract on? Hangman Page, who is the plucky underdog that done well. I know the further story, but go with me on this. Or Samoa Joe, who literally, the last time you were in the ring with him, murdered you and cost you the title. And also the other thing is, this time of year with the C2 going on, and right now we do have the Samoa Joe Hangman deal going on. You don't need a whole lot of extra storylines. Yes, we are going to have to build something up for World's End. And that's going to have to intertwine with this C2. But we already have 3 matches guaranteed for C2. Okay, yeah, next week's Columbus. That's right. I forgot about that because they're at Galaxy Con for that 1 week. They're at Galaxy Con, then they show up at Wednesday somewhere, and then they head out to Europe for a week and a half. Or as we call it, 2 bookings. Oh, they're going... Oh, okay. I haven't been able to pop into their chat lately. I'm just glad Marissa's feeling better because she's been under the weather for a little while here, so. But from what I've seen, GalaxyCon's always a great time. The unit below you are watching straight. That's when you start stomping on the floor. I used to do that. I used to have a broom here for upstairs, like when we were streaming, and I could literally hear the neighbors upstairs banging around with their little kids. And I would literally start taking a broom handle and just start banging it against the roof so they'd shut up a little more. I almost felt like I was going to have to do that here, so... Like, I was going to have to shut up at some point just because when I heard the knock at the door, I thought maybe it was the the neighbor's complaining or something, but no. I just know this time of year I get a lot of these. I need you to buy my books for me. If it's chocolate, you know, I got the stomach for chocolate, but at the same time. Question for you, chat. This is for all the Americans out there. Canadians, chime in yourself because you've already had two months post trauma here. What's your favorite food for Thanksgiving? What is overall your favorite food for Thanksgiving? Whether it be the turkey, the stuffing, the yams, any specific chocolate that you have. Sweet potatoes? Oh, God, yes. I honestly, we don't get enough of those up here. Have you guys ever... No one eats it when I make it. Oh, is that intentional or is that just, you know... I like it the way I like it. Green bean casserole. My God, it makes me feel bad that I just had pierogies and a pork steak for supper tonight. It's because they don't like sweet potato. That's fair. That's fair. One thing I got introduced to at our... oh, my God. Now, could this be a tie? Right off the bat. Your family's palate's just ass. These guys are just counter right now. I love how they just keep countering each other to everything else here. Have you guys ever experimented with turducken? Also make a mean set of Brussels sprouts? You and your healthy food. Huh. I got introduced to turducken here in the last couple years. I would go to Thanksgiving with a bunch of my buds over at one of the sports bars. If you're not familiar with turducken it is a turkey stuffed in a duck stuffed in a chicken. So, yeah, there's 3 different layers of meat in there. It's a very exquisite taste. My God, what a lawn dart. Don't have a sweet tooth, that's why I root for heels. What a power bomb. These two are putting on an absolute clinic right now. Your chorizo dip is fine. I love a good dip. Not tobacco, let's get that clear, but one thing I do appreciate is the tradition of, and I know some promotions are doing it, skinny dip. Let's not go there either. Of course, Rick Knox is in the way. Reverse. Oh my God, they give it to Fletcher. Let's go. Zodiac, you're right on the ball there. I will update the graphic after every show. Unfortunately, I don't have the ability to do it right here, right now, so. What a hell of a match. So, big win for Fletcher, absolutely. And Okada's already behind the ropes. My go-to Hanukkah dish is brisket in a broth with steamed vegetables. Nice. I thought you said it was going to be Okada tonight. Well, that's right. You said Fletcher's going to eat L's. Sorry. Nats, you're the one who's right. My bad. I got fog on the brain the best of times here, so. Oh, shit. We're getting Claudio and Orange tonight, too? They're just loading up all these games tonight. Or all these matches. Oh, the up and down. Callis, why are you raising? Love matzo balls? See, for Christmas, I usually end up getting. Hey, truth is truth. We might argue about certain things, but, you know, spades are spades. Like, the ref's always going to be true. I know, you're just bugging me. It's all good. I've only had one guy in here that's really been irritating me at all about this stuff, so let's get that back off the screen and get back to normal here a bit. Look at that freaking chest there. And I'm talking about Kenny, you sickos. All right, well, that very sums that up in a hurry. Now, does that sort of look like the look of two guys that just, you know, they got caught walking out of someone's certain room out of somewhere, going somewhere? I believe that they call that the walk of shame with a grin on their face. So, I don't know. As we got a little bit of time to divulge this and try to, you know, basically suck down the information that was this weekend here, the Full Gear. Zodiac, I don't know if you got a chance to watch the pay-per-view yet. Nance has already brought up that his favorite match was Fletcher Briscoe. Are you saying Kenny was pleasing the Bucks? I don't. There is nothing wrong with that. There is nothing wrong with that. I'm gonna say that right now. To each their own devices. It is well known that Kenny does play both sides of the field. Whether that's the case, I don't know. I don't care. I don't care. It's wrestling. Anyway, back to the important part. Favorite match of the night. I'm still going to go in, and this is with taking some time and looking back and seeing a bunch of the callbacks. I want to go Money Statlander on this one. Thought Kenny was a Sheeta guy. Well, his time with Ibushi was real. You know that, right? Like, that was... And I think Kenny is a Sheeta guy. And, you know, the Bucks are happily married. That's where I was trying to go there somehow. Like, trying to... No, it wasn't. Yeah, Yeah, I don't want to get into it too much because, frankly, let's put it this way. That kind of stuff is not really our business and doesn't really matter in this case. No. I was trying to make a funny joke and it just decided to go off the rails real quick. Yeah, there you go, Nats. Exactly. But my personal belief going through that, I still say Statlander Monet could be one of the matches of the night. Same with Fletcher and Briscoe. I think my comments that I made at the start of Sunday's stream when we were playing 2K25, when I was talking about it, actually, the more I thought about it, the more I was right. That card could have been an absolute A+ card. I think the fatal flaw that they did in the card is what they should have done realistically. And yes, I understand. I understand this might screw some thinking up on this. If Moxley could avoid bringing the fork out, you have Mox and O'Reilly open the card, or you have Fletcher Briscoe open the card. And put that kind of violence separated from each other. Because I don't think it's the one match that did it. I think it's the two matches back to back that burned that crowd out. I think the crowd can handle one match if they get a little bit of a buffer after that. Like, that's the thing that open with I think you open with some violence. I don't think you open up with the level of violence that you need to. Tell Mox to keep the freaking fork in the back. Did that match really need the fork? Realistically, did that match need the fork with the story they were telling? I don't think so. The TNT title match, the way that it turned out and the level that they needed to get to, I think they did need it. But if you could flip Pac and Orange with one of those two matches, I think you would have had enough of a buffer that the crowd wouldn't have been killed so easy. I.e. Detroit Rock City end with Rock and Roll All Night. Yeah, fair enough. I'm with you, Nats. The only reason I say don't start with violence is there is a rule with old pay-per-views. Like, when you buy streaming service, whole different story. But, like, if you buy it through a TV provider, there is a 15-minute rule that if you watch in the first 15 minutes and there's something that's going to ruin it for you, you are allowed to go back and cancel. And personally, I would prefer not to have a bunch of people cancel their refunds. That's why you'll never see pretty much any pay-per-view that they will open with just an absolute bloody match. Because the people that don't feel they can stomach that stuff will be able to cancel, and you just don't get that $30, $40. Up here, it's 55. 55 Canadian, which is about a quarter American. But I digress. Briscoe just pouring his heart out here at his family, his friends. Up to Jay above. Now, does he have to come back right away? No. Do we have to see anybody right away right now from the pay-per-view? No. I think this is going to be an amazing match here tonight. And the fact they're getting a special spot on the card. Went down the rabbit hole of Austin Idol. My God, his mic skills aren't this good. I completely agree with you. And if you want to check out Austin Idol and you like video games, I highly recommend picking out the Retromania Wrestling game. We did a stream of it a little while back after a collision. Features Austin Idol, and They talk a lot. Like, he is one of the better talkers in the game. The reason why Austin Idol isn't brought up enough, it's all about where you work. Primarily worked NWA, worked the Indies, never got into the WCW or sorry, matching gear, good dancing. Got to hold for a second. Idol and Lawler in Memphis, man. Yeah, like that's exactly it. Like there are so many different wrestling promotions that had tremendous stars, whether it be talkers, performers, that we've never heard of. Like, hell, let's go into the talk about Ricochet winning the national title. And the person that is most pissed off about it right now, Mike Mondo. Like, the only reason anybody knows Mike Mondo is the fact that he was a member of the Spirit Squad. Mikey! But you see what he's doing in the NWA right now, like, he's doing fantastic work. Wait, I thought they did have the championship match at the pay-per-view and Ricochet won the title. Mike Mondo has the NWA national title. Looks exactly the same except for one little piece on top where essentially you rip off the NWA mark and put the AEW one on there. That's Mondo McMichael. That's gotta hurt. Honestly, sorry, I gotta jump back here into this match here. We can talk about Mondo later. The four-way match for the women at the pay-per-view, the eight-woman tag, I didn't mind it. Like, it felt like it somewhat belonged, but it almost... Is it just me, or did it feel like a match of no consequence? Even though there was a stipulation on the line, it almost felt like they were forced to put that situation in there to make it even relevant to be on the card. Because they didn't really have a feud spot to... Oh, we'll get into Brett. Don't worry, we'll get into Bitter Brett right away. Don't worry about that, Nats. I got two chambers loaded for him right now. Like, you can never get me wrong with the fact that the women deserve to be on the card. But if there's nothing really built up, like, why couldn't you have the semifinals on a pay-per-view? I understand that the pre-show match, Big Boom AJ, Sky Blue's gear is the reason I got to vet some of the characters that I've downloaded for 2K25. Because, yeah, Sky Blue's outfit that I downloaded first day that it came out was very limited, and I don't think it's going to be appropriate for anything we do with Backbreaker Wrestling. Which, by the way, we are going to be working towards that, getting that together here soon. Just a quick reminder that we're going to be running WrestleMania tonight for My GM Season 2. We will return to Season 3 in the draft December 13th, following John Cena's retirement match. December is going to be a little interesting in terms of schedule because, unfortunately, I work Saturdays And AEW has decided to move their December 13th and 20th collisions to mid-afternoon spots, 4:30 Eastern time. You're the one who said we couldn't go tonight. So, because I asked if we're going for Thanksgiving, you guys are like, maybe not. So, I didn't want to push it. Hey, it's all good, my friend. I think it's good that we're going to... It's good to get a break, especially this time of year. So, I was actually very happy for you that we're going to do that. So, but yeah, this Saturday will be a TBA. Like I said, depending what they got set up for Fortnite, maybe we'll even do that on Saturday after Survivor Series. Next Saturday, the 5th, we're going to be going into the Tokon, the Marvel's Tokon fighting game beta. That's the word I'm looking for. We'll be doing a little bit of that after. So, hey, Brett, good to see you here tonight. Thank you for popping in. Hope you're having a great time right now. Happy early Thanksgiving if you are from the Americanness. And happy Wednesday if you're for the Canadianness or other. But yeah, we're enjoying a great night tonight at Dynamite. Fletcher upsetting Okada in the opening match of the C2. Now we're getting this tag match here for the semifinals, which I really do feel that realistically, Babes of Wrath should, or I don't want to say should, most likely will get the victory here. In terms of should, I don't think you could question either one of these teams, really. Because here's the one thing about this side that I really enjoy about when it comes to AEW. All four of these ladies are AEW originals. Like outside of enhancement matches in WWE or a musical debut in the case of Harley Cameron in TNA. If you didn't know, Harley Cameron's in-ring debut is actually as a singer, bringing out the inspiration at their debut match at Bound for Glory. I believe it was in 2024 or 23. Uh-oh, here we go. Then a drop kick to the stomach. Like, Harley's getting murdered here. But once again, everybody, thank you for being here. If you're over on the YouTube side, please hit the thumbs up. Please hit the subscribe if you haven't already. Let all your friends know we're here hanging out. We are here for every Dynamite. I'd say every Collision, but next month, like I said, we're going to have a little bit of trouble getting on here. We are going to be here every Saturday night. If there's Collision or a pay-per-view at night, we'll be here. If not, we'll be doing something else. Was watching some moments of the Ruthless Aggression, Brett. You're going to see a lot of those coming up over the next 2 weeks. And I have to say, we're going to see, not only are we going to see a lot of that, I do love the fact that AEW is just plain old getting out of the way of the Cena retirement. They can use the excuse that they're in Europe for that Saturday, which is true. They are going to be taping it for TV. It's just the turnover is going to be a lot less. But they're supposed to be starting, I do believe, at 4:30 Eastern time on Saturday, so that'll be around 2:30. Then the 20th, I do believe they're running the same time. Or sorry, the 21st. And then we're going to have Wrestling takes it to it doesn't. It does. It actually doesn't. Like, we are really, when it comes to AEW, it does not light up at all. Like, one of the more important times of the year is between Christmas and New Year's. Like, AEW's running Christmas Day, and World's End is on the 28th. The Last of the C2 is going to be running on Christmas Day. OVW does. Well, fortunately, that's their choice. And honestly, a lot of the lesser promotions, and I don't mean lesser in caliber. Like, there are a lot of great wrestlers there, but just less in scale, have decided not to run that week. Like, everybody talks about wrestling be the one and only. Like, let's face it. You know, people have families, people have lives. Entertainers like this spend, what, every week for years doing this? She moving? Julia. Ugh. No. I get it. Seeing the live action is always important. And I will say that watching one of the biggest traditions that they did have in wrestling is the Boxing Day special. Because, like, you go out Boxing Day during the day to go shop and get your deals and all that stuff. And then in the evening, you would go to a lot of these promotions and create a different, just go and relax. Like, we also got to remember this is Blackout Wednesday too. So, oh God. Yeah, respectfully, I love the Sisters of Sin, don't get me wrong. But Julia hitting that moonsault the way that she did was pretty much the equivalent of Mr. Burns spitting out the three-eyed fish. For those that watch The Simpsons know exactly what I'm talking about. Just after she landed on her feet, that's when the title chances realistically should have went out the window. But now, honestly, it feels even more so that Megan and Marina are going to be the team on the other side. And the reason I say that, number one, the other team gets a stipulation. And number two, the history between those guys, just amazing. Hey, we got Samoa Joe coming up. Don't want to be that guy, but Julia doesn't feel like she's progressed where she should. I think there has been a bit of a setback since her injury. And I completely get it. And I know a lot of people are saying that about TJ too, like the fact that they haven't gone any further than where they are and whatnot. I can't say you're wrong. Like, the point of evidence is right there. But also the other thing, what about the reps? And there is something about over-repping too. Because let's face it, we could have an over-rep of, well, what could you say here when it comes to an over-rep? Like, how many weeks in a row is she gone? AEW should stream on their own YouTube channel for members? I can understand that theory, Brett, and I appreciate that, but hear me out. I offer you a dump truck of money. I offer you an absolute dump truck of money, but you have to let me be the sole streaming space of your programming, whether it be AEW or it could be AEW, WWE, whatever. But I'm going to offer you an absolute dump truck of money, but I get all the streaming rights. I'm taking that money because YouTube revenue is so up and down. It is scary. HBO Max is the online home of AEW. You do have to pay for that service, unfortunately. So, yeah, I don't see any reason why AEW would do an extra stream like that. They do it for ROH. Every once in a while, they will go to a YouTube format for some of their shows. Like I said, metric ton of money. The amount of money that you would get from an online provider and how much Warner Brothers gave for that online access, I guarantee you is more money than anybody would get off memberships. You could charge $10 a month and it still wouldn't cover the money that they got. I just want to watch AEW, don't feel like it. You know what? That's on you, my friend. And I know we've had that discussion here before. If you're willing to watch it, I recommend watching it at all times. So I'm not. That's what we do on this channel. And I know PJC, for example, here, he found a way that he's able to watch it for. He got a discount on TSN, so he's able to watch it here now in Canada. At least for the next couple months. But he found out that his streaming package included the channel that we get Collision on here. So he gets to watch it all the time now. It's no different than WWE telling you have to get Netflix to watch their show. Because in Canada, that's all you have to watch. You like the background? Yeah, it's just a ringside thing, right? Sorry, I didn't mean to harbor on the topic a little too long here. And yeah, I'm going to go with, like, there's a lot of discussion, and I still am holding out right now, as much as it is a great decision. And first thoughts, like right off the bat, yeah, absolutely is a great decision. What do they go from here? Where do they go from here? Honestly, Joe's retirement story, like, this is essentially what Sting was going through as well. Like, Joe said that this could be one of his last contracts. Shivani's still holding the pose while giving up the mic. That is awesome. My God, Hobbs is great. Joe has such a way of just taking this crowd on whatever ride he wants right now. All right, is this a Swermobile? Yep. And a stapler. And Hangman's got a chain. This MJF story might even come to fruition at this point, but would you want to get involved in this mess? Scrubs? Oh, I feel bad for this enhancement talent tonight. There's some big boys there on that security. My God. They got Gallus out there? He's missing out a very important detail in this whole discussion. Think Joe being allowed to go full heel this time makes it better compared to last? Yeah. That's why he tapped out so quickly. No, Joe has always been great as that awesome heel. Like, this is a heel that everybody's not happy to be around. Like, back in Joe's first title reign, that was back when everybody loved him so much, even though he was the bad guy. I don't think that's going to happen this time. I love this introduction. You know what this is, Hook means? It's not. This is Hook as a reference to his dad. Swerve is getting over Hangman, makes his decision even better. That's fair. Like I said, I want to see how this plays out, but all the pieces are there to make this an absolutely spectacular run right now. Now, I want to give a shout out to another. I shouldn't be giving out to other streamers who are actually streaming right now, but D Porticus, he was putting out a question earlier today that makes. I think the question's very self-explanatory. Who's the main story of AEW? Who's the main character? Who's the main character of AEW? I think it's obviously got to be Hangman. If you think different, please let me know, because it could be Swerve. That there is a very compelling story to that too, and I don't think MJF's around enough now to actually say that he's the main story. I definitely think he's a side quest. Oh, there, Osprey, Takeshita, Fletcher. There are lots of stories. And you know what? If those, with those answers, I love the fact that there are so many answers that are available. The only reason I came up with Hangman is the fact that this isn't a 5-minute story. This is a 6-year story at this point. Because ever since Hangman lost to Jericho in the first ever AEW branded pay-per-view, and just the level of growth that goes there. Hangman's a hero that you know will get displaced. And that's another story beat of it now, right? Because at All In, he looked like he was the hero that was going to triumph. Shot of courage and a bottle of beer. But no, that's absolutely legit takes on all of them there. Well, these security guys at least know how to bump. Oh, that guy ate a beer bottle. Like how Achilles isn't the main character of the Iliad. See, you've read all these intelligent books. That's why you're the smart one of the bunch here, Zodiac. Come on now. Oh, both of them are eating staplers now. Oh, there's another stapler. All right, folks, I got to ask you. There's two in the ring. If they want to take everything from Joe, what about the trios title? Who's the third? I have an idea. I want to see if you guys have an idea. Joe's like, yeah, no, we're not doing. That's when I would have came down just like, eh. If I'm Joe, I'm like, wave him off and just walk away. To me, that would be the funnest part of it. You know, as Hangman's music's playing, not Swerve's. Maybe just because you want generic cheering instead. Oh, hell, we got Moxley of Dorada next. Folks, we're going to tell what Moxley's story in this C2 is going to be in about 5 minutes here. I saw this promo, and Moxley's getting delusional now. So, we're getting Darby and Kevin Knight as our main event tonight? Or maybe Orange and Claudio? Because those are the two matches left on the... Yeah, those are the two matches left on the card. I'm assuming Orange and Claudio will be main. But the downfall of Moxley here, it's a fascinating story. And the slow burn on it is just absolutely fantastic. And I do have to think that is one of the most positive things when you talk about AEW is the fact that they know how to slow burn everything. Pac's going to kill him? I think it's Claudio. I think it's... If you want to make somebody new, it should be Pac. But I think it's going to be Claudio, honestly. But I'm with you, Zodiac. Like, I know Jay Quick, you were talking about... Or, sorry, Nats, you were talking about that as well. That you were thinking it was going to be Pac leading it. I got a weird feeling it's going to be Claudio. I think Pac's the better choice. Oh yeah, I got to bring up the draw back up here again. I'll see if I can figure out some way that I can have the graphic up so I can update it faster here. Moxley's swearing because he went the wrong way. That is amazing right there. Let me switch over to the side here a little bit as we go. Mox is definitely in character. Well, he was the main event to the first ever pay-per-view. He's been a constant all the way through. I think he's been a conscience of AEW. He's the guy that basically helped us survive the Punk years. And I do say survive based on everything that's happened to that time, so. Let me see if I can do this real quick here. Just going to do this real quick, chat. Sorry if I got a little quiet for a second here. Just. Yeah, there we are. There we go. It took a little bit of work here, but there we go. Now we're updated, up to date. I'll try and keep it going as we go along here. Sorry, chat. I'm a one-man crew here, so my graphics department works. I outsource my graphics department, so forgive me if I'm a little off here. We will run it live as we can go here, but all I know is my PixArt program's going to be getting a lot of different variables here, so. But no, this will be a very telling about what we're going to be doing. Here's the other story about this. Like we were talking about who's going to win here. Could Moxley injure Dorada so that he gets pulled from the tournament? Because there is also another great story about this here with Roddy Strong in the same bracket as Moxley, trying to get revenge for his friend. Orange and Mox, the first major feud over the international title. Moxley going absolutely ape here right now. And I love it. I absolutely love it. Like, but I will say it is actually pretty nice to have what 5 different like 5 different weeks where we don't have to think too much about what storylines are happening in wrestling. Yes, there are going to be tons of storylines developed through this tournament. But if you miss it, like I know I'll be watching on delay for a bunch of these, right? But the fact that I'll be missing a bunch of them just simply tells me that I'll be able to catch up real quick on the tournament itself, if not the story. Oh, God. Dorada, why did you sell? Like, holy crap. A flying nothing. Straight up, just a flying nothing. That's all it was. But once again, everybody, we're just over an hour in. Thank you for being here. If you're over on Twitch, make sure you hit the follow button if you haven't already. If you're watching on the YouTube side, make sure you hit the like button and the subscribe if you can. We are raising funds for Jack.org over on Twitch here from now till next Tuesday. And also, if you dig through all the stuff, crap. They are gifting. There is a deal for a discount on every 5 subs that you donate over on Twitch here from now until Sunday, I do believe. Thank you to Twitch for doing that for us. That's where that crazy thing. I don't know if any of you seen it over on the old X machine, or shitter as a lot of us call it here. Twitch is offering a deal now. You can spend 1,000 subs for, or what was it, 5,000 subs for $1,000 or something stupid like that. I don't think I'll ever see that, and I don't know what I would say if I ever did. Other than I just pray that credit card didn't decline. But sorry. A little late on that one there. I'm a little cramped in the corner here because you can see I got all this stuff over here and that. So wasn't well thought out how I set this up, but you know what? I don't think it's the worst thing in the world. There you go. Now you can see the full conversation as we go. Well, yeah. No, and I've said this on other weeks. Like, not having the chance to catch up on everything right away is not exactly the worst thing in the world. Moxie's like, really? I got to deal with this stuff? Here's the funny part. What if this ends in a tie? But Dorada, he gets so pissed that he didn't win this that Dorada ends up getting injured out of this. No, I do not wish a real injury on anybody. And once again, I do wish nothing but the best for Penta in a speedy recovery. Apparently he got injured on Raw on Monday, so don't wish an injury on absolutely anybody right now. So I will give Dorado a lot of credit. Like, after last week when he took on Fletcher here on Dynamite in that TNT title match, I was a little worried how his performance was going to be on Saturday. Because Saturday in that trios match, for the CMLL Trios titles. I thought he looked a lot better than he did before. Nice little RKO over the railing there. Unless you want to call it a diamond cutter. Nice little tornillo there. This crowd is fire. Kudos to this crowd for firing up the way they are. It's going to be interesting to see what they're like tomorrow night because, well, they're taping Collision after they're done here tonight, right? So we're going to be able to get an update about what the scores are going to be by the end of tomorrow night and all that. So Moxley rolling the outside don't mean nothing. That's one thing you should learn about a luchador. Wonder how Mascara Dorada feels about the Lucha House Party chant. I like that one. I like that a lot. There's another RKO out of nowhere. So tomorrow we're gonna get, tomorrow we're gonna get two last matches in the first round here. It'll be Pac and Mike Bailey and Roderick Strong taking on Roddy and Takeshita. That's who the other one will be. That's what we're looking forward to tomorrow. So I'm assuming Roddy and Takeshita would be the main event tomorrow night. Was Danielson or was Nigel in all night here? I'm guessing Danielson wanted to take Thanksgiving off. Makes sense. You know, I got to deal with all those vegan birds and whatnot, so. Oh my God, Lost in the Woods! Lost in the Woods almost got it. All right, well, that hit. Oh, look out. 450 out of nowhere. Let's go. Moxley's all pissed off at himself. You know, the angrier he gets, the more likely he's not going to get anything out of this. Look at that again. He fired up. He misses this time. He has to. Into the knees. Into the bull. It's a reverse sleeper. Now Dorada's going out. So Moxley does get his victory. Hell of an effort there. It almost felt, oh, that was definitely very tight right there. So Darts choke Mitch Clark style. Let's go. Hashtag local content. Moxley's been in a fight. That's for damn sure here. And Tony Storm's just coming out to deal with Shafir, so. So I'm assuming this is where she mentions her stipulation. All right, Tony, what do you got for us? I'm going to let Tony talk while I update the bracket here, folks. Okay. Cave woman daughter. All right, what we got? I thought Juice. Yeah, that's a good question. Okay. Did she see what I think she said? Death match? Moxley can't even hold her. Moxley's like, what are you going to do right now? And Megan Payne's not here. She's at Stardom right now because their team's in the semifinals in the Stardom Goddess Tag League. Like, I gotta say, the women's MVP this year for AEW, and we're going to talk about this at the end of the year. I think we're going to have sort of a summary, but it very well could be Megan Bayne this year. Hasn't won any titles. I'm not against gay storylines, but Tony Mina feels a little ham-fisted. The whole freaking thing's supposed to be. It's supposed to be a Turner Classic movie. I saw this promo from before, so who are you going to be facing in the future? That's the question here. Yeah, Zodiac, I'm with this whole the whole Tony Storm thing feels like a very big contrived, like you said, a ham-fisted story here. But ever since the beginning, even with Luther and the whole thing with that, it's always felt like it is meant to be that. I don't know if I've ever seen a Turner Classic movie that doesn't feel like it's over the top, pretentious, completely made up story. I don't know the best way to describe it, but I just feel fake. There it is. This is something I've been talking about over the last couple days here, and it goes back. I made a post about Deporticus earlier today, like I was talking earlier. And one of the greatest things he does, and one of the things I feel that I'm worst at, is portraying myself as like a fake kind of thing. A lot of things I do are like pre-rehearsed, and things I've done so many times it feels like they're pre-rehearsed. Like when I start going into my plugs, it's sort of an autopilot thing just from my experience behind a mic when I'm doing commentary and whatnot. And it almost gives you the feeling that I project a lot of fakeness in what I do. So it goes to show storylines like this can still be that predictable, that fake, and still be hella entertaining. And that's one thing I sort of bring up with myself here. I try to be as entertaining as possible. I try to be controversial once in a while. Mostly it's just whenever Nats and I decide to get at it at certain things. But, as we're getting through this, like, Tony Storm's gimmick is going to start wearing thin, and I think having this tag gimmick put together the way it is, might actually be a bit of a godsend to set this up. Now, the only question is, where do they do the finals? Because I think you're going to do your crazy over-the-top gimmick here. I don't think the final's going to be an over-the-top gimmick. I almost feel that the women's tag final might actually be at Winter's Coming, which is going to be in the during that European tour. All right, graphic back up. I'm getting the hang of this, chat. I'm getting this updated. This is actually starting to get... I'm trying to keep it updated as we go here. Now that I got things a little more figured out, and it's a lot of copy and paste, and I actually got the right column for the total points now, so... Now, there could be a possibility we get Darby into the semis. Almost to relive the Darby Mox days, but I don't know if we really need to go back to that again. But so many positive things have been said about Kevin Knight. Like, the only thing we don't say positive about him is that his stupid sunglasses don't stay on his face long enough. If you didn't see on his entrance, they literally fell out of his face. That's the second time in a row. Because the same thing happened to him on Saturday. You want to talk about two guys with no limits here? It's on a different kind of scale, but I completely think that for both these guys. Darby trying to psych himself up here. Like, I swear to God, what we need to do with Kevin Knight, give him Ricochet and give him 20 minutes. Give him Ricochet and give him 20 minutes to run. I don't care if it ends up being a draw. Yeah, he feels horrible about losing to Ricochet there, so. Oh, here comes the score app, starting to get articles about how, oh, the Jays are finally spending money. Congratulations. Give anyone Ricochet 20 minutes in a non-Samantha way and they'll look fantastic. Hell, give him... well... Actually, now I think about it, yeah, because non-Samantha way... Because if it wasn't a Samantha way, it'd probably only be about 2. Oh, and nothing but the best for Samantha Irvin, by the way. She's literally, what? 11 months away now from getting to do what she wants. Oh, and speaking of which, an interesting development came down here in Canadian sports today that sort of, I think, relates to Andrade possibly. So we all know Andrade's gone for a year, right? Like, WWE enforced a 1-year worldwide non-compete. That's the story. Oh, God. Well, Darby's knee's screwed. But what happened here in Canada today? There was an announcement that the top Canadian swimmer, Penny Oleksiak, if you are a hockey fan, that is Jamie Oleksiak's sister of the Dallas Stars. Or I think he's in Seattle now, but either way, wherever he plays. She has been banned for 1 year by the Olympic, or sorry, 2 years by the Olympic Committee, or the Anti-Doping Agency, sorry. But the reason isn't because she failed a dope test. It's because she failed to report any of the any reports about where she is, so they're able to provide, she's able to provide a sample whenever needed. Like, at that level, once you go on vacation, you have to indicate where you are and where you're going to be in case we want to do a drug test on you. It sucks, but it's true. She failed to provide that information, and today she was given a 2-year ban. which doesn't mean much to them because she can still train for the Olympics because that's all she's going to do. The only thing she's going to do is miss 2 world championships. But if you got sponsors and you got stuff going on, you can still train. It's a blip in the radar, basically. But it also means that you're not going to be the defending world champion anytime soon. So, but when it comes to Andrade, it almost feels the same thing. Like everybody's saying, "Oh well, he must have failed the drug test. That's why he's got this year ban." There's 2 different cases right now. One is the one I just described to you. And the other one is actually an interview that David Otunga did recently. And looking over most standard contracts with WWE, the actual wording of the contract is everybody has a 1-year ban from working. Just the employment standard, it's basically a 1-year ban with the option to reduce it as WWE sees fit. So what they do is they reduce it down to 30 days or 90 days. That's usually common procedure. But in Andrade's case, they decided, no, screw that. We're not giving up our right to leave you out for a year. Now, basically, they've come under the idea of if you want to fight it, you can fight it all you want. But by the time you finish fighting it, you're going to be back working anyway. So what's the point? You're going to miss maybe an extra month by not fighting it, month or 2. So as we head into the ad break over on Twitch here, it really is a no-win situation. It sucks, but it just, and same thing with Penny there. The fact that she just didn't do the paperwork she was supposed to. It's all on her. Like, she admitted she didn't do it. I can't help it. And maybe it's a good thing that she gets time to focus on training and she doesn't have to worry about competition for 2 years. And when the Olympics are back up, she's back up and running. They're showing a World Cup basketball highlights coming up on Friday here. Canada takes on the Bahamas. It's almost getting to the point where Canada doesn't even need to, shouldn't even need to qualify like the States. Oh, I didn't realize they're actually in the home of, the actual new home of AEW now. If you guys didn't hear, all the production and like the spare rings and all that got moved to Nashville. Right now, don't start thinking it's TNA. Just calm down. It's because the Jaguars facility, the field that AEW houses everything at, it's being renovated. So therefore, they had to move all their stuff out of the stadium, and now they relocated all of it to Nashville for right now. I'm sure we're going to find a way to get back to Daly's place when we need to, so. Darby trying to set up somewhere. Oh, God. I thought he was going for the Scorpion Deathlock, but he faked it into a Last Supper pin there. I like how he has the pinfall switch on that. Because if somebody's trying to prep themselves for getting flipped over, they could get caught in a pin somehow there. Block, block, block. Oh, Jesus. That was a swack and a hack. Yeah, December 10th. That makes sense. That's the night before they head over to Cardiff. So you could do the women's tag team in Atlanta. And yeah, they're doing that Wednesday the 17th. Just a heads up, they are doing a double show live. So we're going to be getting Collision and Dynamite the week before Christmas. A little bit even here, so, or that night, so. Looks like her online GM plans might be a little scuttled here throughout the month of December a little bit. I think they're doing 4 hours that night, so. If he can't move him, you might as well get back in the ring and see if you can get a count out. It makes sense. Oh, God. Fudge! My God, the height that he got on that clothesline. Seriously. That was a little borderline insane there. Not good. Code red out of nowhere. And Darby's bleeding. So we got our first blood in the C2. Well, Kevin Knight was smart enough to try and grab the ankle there at least. Oh, this ain't going to be good. Coast to coast like butter and toast. Let's go. Oh my God, he cleared him easy. He easily got there. Like usually that's a little tough to do, but my God, he just chucked him and ducked him there. No way. Wow. Can we say the first upset of the tournament? Can we honestly say this may be the first upset of the tournament? Not that we really feel there should be an upset in the tournament, but like usually when somebody does a coast to coast like that, they're barely getting their legs over to the other guy. Knight, I think, could have went a little further. I think he literally could have flew through the ring if he really wanted to there. Damn. That was a shot. Knight could have cleared another 5 feet. Yeah, like that was... He got him in the chest. He didn't get him in the face. He didn't want to go for the pose. He just went for the 5. Darby's like, leave me alone. I'm dead. Just. You got to remember, Kevin Knight is no rookie when it comes to tournaments. Because he does have the best of Super Juniors history as well. So. Okay, I'm going to work on this graphic here, but. Folks, what do you guys think of FTR? What happened there? I have to ask you guys. Because I know that a lot of people have been doing a lot of groaning and moaning about it. I don't think it's as bad as a lot of people think, but so FTR is going to be showing up next week. All right. That actually went really quick. All right. Commercial break is on. We are in the final commercial break before we start up here. So, as per tradition, give you a little bit of rundown what's going to be coming up here on the channel. Immediately following this, we're going to go into our My GM, the solo run that we normally run on Saturday. We're going to be running tonight. And we're going to be doing WrestleMania. So it's 8 matches. We're going to be two featuring WCW and 2 featuring WCW wrestlers as well as part of the inter promotional matches. And then tomorrow morning, we're going to get up nice and early here. We're looking at 9 to 10 a.m. Eastern, somewhere in there. It's early enough I'm setting a damn alarm tonight. So we're going to get a little Horizon Forbidden West in before football starts. And then tomorrow night, we will be here for AEW Collision, both on YouTube and on Twitch. Saturday, I'll probably hop on here after Survivor Series. As we'll be looking to do some, like I said, right now, my odds are going on whatever's going to happen on the new season of Fortnite, as long as that's back up, because everybody's going to be up there and going. And yeah, I'll feel it the rest of the week as we go here, because everything's been a little bit of crazy lately. So once again, everybody, thank you for being here. Appreciate you. If you're watching on YouTube, hit the thumbs up, hit the subscribe. If you are watching on Twitch, hit the follow button if you haven't already. And just a reminder, we are raising funds for jack.org to help youth and young adults deal with the stresses of life in terms of mental stresses that could be coming up. As well as Twitch is offering gift subs. Groups of 5 are 25% off now through Sunday. So, but all that fluff aside, thank you for being here. Always appreciate you, whether you're lurking or you're chatting. It's always a pleasure to have you all around here, and it's been proven you guys are having a little bit of fun here tonight. So I think we're all having a little bit of fun all the way around here. So glad I could create this space that we all could have some fun and chat and discuss life and times and everything going on here, whether it be wrestling, whether it be life, whether it be everything else. Whether it be my Bills absolutely sucking right now. But yeah, it's just it's fun time hanging out with all of you. So don't ever be afraid to ask what you want. Yes, Kingston, we want to know what's going on with you. Woo. Son of a bitch, right out of the blue. Eddie Kingston Shibata next. That Eddie Kingston might be that third guy I was talking about earlier. Who do you do for a trio? With Swerve and Hangman? Oh, this is going to be ugly. One way or the other. There's your updated standings as per right now. Where did they... That's what I love about AEW. They find these venues with such cool entrances. You notice Moxley has Shafir and Claudio has everybody else? I know you guys are talking about this whole faction breaking up and going a different way. It's just looking that way, like it's setting up there. So, Chad, I have to ask you, are they actually going to have a position where somebody's actually going to try to risk that fired situation where you get fired for, like, honestly, like, remember when Andrade wanted to get out, Miro wanted to get out? That would have been a perfect time for them to get involved. You got to fire me. I showed up out here. Reminds me of some of my coworkers who say that, you know, all you have to do is get in a little bit of trouble and you get fired. I'm like, no, you get extra shifts. That's how it works there. Claudio got the path to the ring correct for the first time. I haven't thrown that one out in a while, so. Look at that record, 132-2. See, here's the question I have for Excalibur. Wrestlers will have to face 5 matches in a month. Don't they do that for the most part already anyway? Like, I'm sorry, I'm going to throw this out here.
What the hell is that?
I usually don't throw that much at Excalibur. I'm going to throw one at him there. Yeah, but I will agree with him in. Yeah, I want to wish everybody down the States here a happy Thanksgiving who are watching tonight. Even if you're not watching tonight. Gonna throw it on either. Happy Thanksgiving to all you Americans. To all you Canadians, I hope you get tomorrow off so you can watch some football. Well, at least the first 2 games. The last game usually sucks, so make sure you join me here for Collision. I thought it was a DDT he was going for. He went for a small package. Okay. Now, I don't think this match is going to go much overtime tonight. Famous last words, I understand that, but the fact that they're recording 2 matches tonight, or 2 shows tonight, makes me feel like they probably won't do that. Oh, Jesus. Claudio doesn't have to do anything quick. That's the funniest part here. As soon as he hits one shot, he could take like 20 seconds to pop everything out, right? He's looking, oh, nice counter. Risk contract. Cassidy's aggressive. Claudio's absolutely. It's the story within the story that turns out really well. The fact that Orange has to try while Claudio doesn't. Well, that's a rebound if I ever saw one. So yeah, our main event's going to be Takeshi and Strong. I almost guarantee it. Either that or it's going to open and you'll get Kingston Shibata main eventing. Pac and Bailey, I feel, would be the good match to do as the opener tomorrow night. Tekla and Ty. My God, we're gonna have to talk about Ty Mello tomorrow. I think we'll bring it up more tomorrow as we're getting into our main event here today. We need a lot of time for that one. Just because Ty, if you saw Ty's response to losing that match, it almost makes you wonder, like, is it a Bailey W comment here? And where she might be not. Oh, God. Oh, God. Yeah, exactly. R.I.P. Anna J. That's exactly it. Like I said, we need a little bit of time to dissect all that down because, well, we know the situation here where they were putting all their eggs in a basket about being part of the tag team and then losing in that first round match. Which, in all due respect of what they're doing right now, made all the sense in the world to do that. Except for the fact that TJ are two of the... Like, if you're going to do a death match, those two... She needs, I think she could benefit with changes. Absolutely. Do I think she goes back to Japan, maybe? I don't know if WWE would take her right now. Other than the fact that she is somebody who is first trained in AEW. That might be the only reason why you would bring her in. Because WWE in so many ways is petty AF. I just think they need the, like you said, having Collision or Elevation or AEW Dark would be such a benefit for them because the amount of reps that those ladies have gotten, like, it's almost like you leave them alone for a while and then all of a sudden you expect them to be in 100%. But then, of course, it runs the opposite thing when you see what happened with, like with Julia Hart here running too much. The Fed would sign and push her for spite, but I think she's mid NXT at the current moment. Yeah, like, and that's where I go with that. Like, it wouldn't surprise me if they did. Women's wrestling's come a long way since 2019. Absolutely. It's come a long way, but it's also stalled a little bit. Like, well, think about this. Like, I know we're not comparing apples and oranges here and dealing with all the other signs here, but since the last time we were here for Dynamite, WWE has had exactly 0 women's matches on their 2 main shows. Last Friday, in 2.5 hours, they had none. And on Monday, they had none as well. So I don't know if they're going to fix it on Friday. Probably not, because it is the go-home show to Survivor Series on Saturday. And while the U.S. title still has some, the U.S. title deserves a little bit more exposure. It just, I don't know which way to... Nice gut buster, straight out of the pant grab. Be more the expectation of match quality is way higher. The bar is absolutely, and I don't think you get any better with that unless you get reps. Straight up reps. And a good combination of reps. Like, getting a match every 2 or 3 months on TV just isn't going to cut it for you anymore. Oh my God, he's pocketing up. He's pocketing up. Yeah, like, which why Moné's stock is still right. Yeah, like, the quality of her matches are still there. And like I said, I still think that Moné's match with Statlander might have been the match of the night. And that's speaking for somebody who's watched a lot of AEW and saw the first 2 matches between those two. And like the callback for on the count out and whatnot. Moné's wrestling, and you know what? I don't know why she gets as much hate as she does. Is it just jealousy? Is it the hate mongers from the other side? I almost think it is the second one there more than anything else. Yeah, I was gonna say Orange is about to die. I thought that uppercut would have been enough. Just haters. She isn't the best thing ever, but she's still really damn good. Well, nobody is the best damn ever, right? I'll tell you something right now. If Moné can keep the AEW's women division, at least the top of it, where it is right now, and just keep it at that level and prove that she's the best, until her best friend in wrestling is somewhat available. And best thing ever is a period specific. Yeah, well, I'd have to say, because, yeah, the bar is a lot different depending on what area you're looking at. Because I do think Moné gets that title, right? So. Oh, he's going for the ultimate uppercut. That's a hell reversal. Oh, no. I think he was trying to throw him up for I think he was trying to get an uppercut on him there. Oh, no. No, you're done. Oh, never mind. Got the beach break. Does he get the 3? No. No, Claudio don't go down that easy. No, I'm thinking eventually we're going to take one night here and we're going to have to talk, like, just sit down and talk about the year of wrestling, the year in gaming here. I am, if you guys aren't familiar, every year I do a tier list of the games that I played this year. So we'll be definitely doing a stream for that, as well as playing one of those games. And then we typically try to take a wrestling night just to go back and think about what we enjoy this year. A little bit of reminiscing is always a good thing. Oh, God. That sucked. No, he's done. Yep. Super uppercut does it. You know, Claudio he needed it one. He needs one opening. That's the difference with a guy like Claudio and a guy like Orange and a guy like a Claudio versus a Kevin Knight, Claudio versus a Mike Bailey, a Claudio versus Darby. Basically, Claudio gets everybody except maybe Moxley and Takeshita in the start. Well, I guess that only counts out other three. Roderick, Mascara Dorada, Orange Cassidy, they all need 2 or 3 shots in to get it. Oh shit, I thought they were going to do it for the finale. No, they're doing it next week. Next Wednesday is going to be pretty epic. So now we're going to get wife and best friend have to face each other next week. And Renee's got to be in the ring to deal with it. Oh, my God. This will be fun. Oh, so they're going to beat up Cassidy now just for the hell of it, right? All right, well, let's just break it down in a quick hurry. As normal, everything just breaks down with... They're going to have to lock each other up in a room or something. There you go. There's the updated stats for you, everyone. I'm surprised we don't have Tony Storm come out here. And Dorada takes everybody out and blows his knee out at the same time. Okada's just being smart, as a smart tournament wrestler would be. Just sits up top and just, yeah, we're good. We're just going to hang out here. So yeah, tomorrow night we're going to get the other 3 matches in the group. Or other 2 matches, sorry, in the first round. And then, yeah, next Wednesday, my God. I honestly thought they were going to save it for New York. And there's actually a chance, like, Nats might be bang on here with maybe Pac taking over things here. We'll see what happens as the tournament develops here. Like, we still got, what, a full month still to look through things here? Because, yeah, the last of the round robin ends on Christmas Eve. Because I don't even know if they have a Christmas... Trying to remember, yeah, it's Christmas Eve that they're going to have... Oh, no, Collision is on Christmas Day. That's right. They're running it an hour earlier. It's going to be... They already sent out a schedule what's going on Christmas, and we're going to get it on 5... It's going to be 5 o'clock local time, 7 o'clock... 7 o'clock ET for Christmas Collision. So, but hell, a fun match to end the night with. Claudio getting the victory as expected. I think the one upset we had, Kevin Knight over Darby Allin, which I don't know if that's going to take Darby right out of it in this one, but it almost feels like there might be like now Darby has to beat Bailey. Like, either Darby has to be Bailey, or Darby might end up being the Jay Lethal Mark Briscoe of yesteryear, who were just there. That last match didn't mean anything except to have fun. Or possibly provide some upsets. And it'll be interesting if Darby's the one that ends up doing that, so. But yeah, other than that, having the Babes of Wrath win the semifinal, so they're going to the final. It'll be an interesting to see who they get to face in the final itself. I'm assuming that the final is going to be at Winter is Coming, right before they head off for Europe. But they could do it in Europe. We'll see. But all in all, I'd have to say just a very good episode of Dynamite tonight. When you get tournament wrestling kicking in, it's always turned out to be a good thing. So we definitely have a lot to look forward to here going forward. And a lot of interesting stories to tell tomorrow night even, as we get into Collision. I know tomorrow is American Thanksgiving for a lot of you, so if you don't get an opportunity to stick around here on Thanksgiving after you've had your meal and your pie and had all the friendly people dissipate for the evening, I understand. But if you do have some time tomorrow, feel free to stop in. We're going to be here doing just a Collision stream. We're not going to be doing anything after. I got to work Friday morning, so yeah, I try to keep things. We're going to be streaming in the morning, so we'll balance it out. But that's going to wrap it up here for this part of the show, the AEW Dynamite Sidecast. For those on YouTube, we're going to wrap things up here totally tonight. For those on Twitch, hang on. We're going to flip over to 2K here momentarily. The booking won't take long, so we can start talking more about wrestling as we progress through here. So, but yeah, for those on YouTube, the next time I will be up is tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern, with AEW Collision, Thanksgiving Collision. Bring your drumsticks, bring your turkeys, bring everything to help out. And yeah, thank you for being here, everybody. Make sure you hit the thumbs up. Make sure you hit the subscribe. Tell all your friends. And we'll see you all here next time on the Backbreaker Video YouTube channel.